Dump trucks. What type of dump truck do you need for your landscape or excavation business? Coming up. What's up, guys? It's your host Rob here with Down to Dirt TV, and today is all about dump trucks. I feel like I'm going back in time to when I had my first Tonka toy dump truck. You know, that all metal one that you beat up, the one with the rust causing you to get a tetanus shot every time you cut yourself. Or if you were like my parents, they just threw a band-aid on my dirty war wound and claimed that it would help my immune system. Thanks, parents. But before we get down to dirt, make sure you hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, since that is by far the best way that you can help support this channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more great quality content, and if you hit that bell notification, you'll never miss another video. So dump trucks are incredible machines that can be a significant investment for your company. Anyone who's been in the dirt business for a while knows that you need to have a dump truck show up from time to time to deliver or haul materials for you. A skilled driver, such as myself, can help you save by spreading materials with the truck, saving you time and labor. But we also know how frustrating it can be to try to coordinate a dump truck to come out when you need them, and God forbid if you need one in a pinch. A lot of the time you may have to put a project on hold until you can get a dump truck lined up. Even then, they may not show up. For instance, I had a dump truck company pull off on my project without explanation one time. I was always in good standing with them, and I always scheduled well in advance. That's how I roll with my subs. But this guy ended up pulling his truck off my project in the middle of the day. When I called the owner, and he said that he double booked. As a result, I'd never use that company again and had to find someone else to help me finish the project. From that moment forward, I was determined to buy a dump truck because I saw the value in being self-reliant. I had a dump trailer at the time, but it would have taken me 5 to 6 times longer than a 12-yard dump truck. Not exactly efficient if you have to move 250 cubic yards of material. But I will say, dump trailers are useful in some situations where a dump truck may be useless. But we'll get into that in a minute. Make sure you stick around to the end also, because I have some very specific advice for you if you're trying to buy a dump truck. So what kind of dump truck do you need? To determine what type of dump truck you need, you'll have to do some analysis of what type of work you're going to be using it for. Landscaping, clearing, import, export, you know, that kind of stuff. Then you'll need to size the truck according to the size of jobs you do. For instance, you wouldn't want to buy a transfer truck if you do small landscape projects. That is, unless you hire out the truck to another contractor, but then you're getting into the trucking business and not landscaping. So what are different types of trucks in construction? You have standard dump trucks, super dumps, end dumps, transfers, truck and pup, and side dumps. Dump trucks come in a wide array of styles and sizes, from pickups with dump beds on them to quad-axle 70,000 gross vehicle weight monsters. But for the small dump truck category, we're going to stick to trucks with under 26,000 gross vehicle weight and outline who benefits most by utilizing them. Landscapers. Pickups with a dump bed or commercial single-axle dump trucks are usually for landscaping companies. Landscaping companies don't typically need large quantities of materials delivered, but when they do, it's better to schedule a landscaping supplier to deliver them. For landscaping, you'll want to keep the gross vehicle weight under 26,000 pounds. This eliminates the burden of hiring a CDL driver. Landscape trucks usually have a thin steel box with barn doors on the back so that the brush doesn't get stuck in the bed when dumping. If you do small landscaping projects, you can also use a dump trailer paired with a 1-ton pickup. That's how I started. If you're doing mid-sized landscaping projects, a 26,000 pound gross vehicle weight truck coupled with a landscape trailer is the most efficient way to go. You can haul materials such as beauty bark while having a couple of mowers and some other tools and equipment in the landscape trailer behind you. Just make sure the combination doesn't have a max capacity of more than 26,000 pounds, meaning the truck's gross vehicle weight and the trailer's gross vehicle weight combined, meaning added together, does not exceed 26,000 pounds, or the driver will be required to have a Class A CDL. Once the combination exceeds 26,001 pounds, you enter a new class. If you need large quantities of materials, hire it out unless you have a unique use for a large truck on a regular basis. Small excavation contractors. Small residential excavation contractors typically don't start with a dump truck right out the gate. We typically start with like a 1-ton pickup, a dump trailer, and a mini excavator. It gives us the ability to haul around small equipment while having the room for tools on the truck. It's considered the Swiss Army combo if you ask me. It gives the best advantage of success because it allows you to be more efficient. Same rules apply though with the gross vehicle weight. I was able to combine a Ford F-350 with a 7x14 dump trailer and a mini excavator without exceeding the 26,000 pound limit. You just have to make sure you size the excavator correctly or you'll be in trouble if you get stopped by the fuzz, and it does happen. This combination is perfect if you do small projects. You can be nimble, in and out, move materials and machines. If you put a fuel tank in the back of your truck, you'll have everything you need to get the job done. Now, if you get any value out of this content, all you have to do is gently activate that button. Just go ahead and reach out with your finger like this. Just turn it blue for me. And let's get back to it. Standard solo dump trucks. Standard dump trucks come in many sizes and shapes, as I stated before. They can have single, tandem, tri, quad, or 5 axles and have a gross vehicle weight of 26,001 pound to 80,000 pounds. The payload of these trucks can range between 5 and 19 tons. The benefit of these trucks is they have a shorter wheelbase and can maneuver into tight corners better than those with trailers. Tandem axle trucks can haul a payload of 13 tons, or just under 10 cubic yards. They are by far the most common used dump truck on the road. These particular trucks would suit a small to mid-sized contractor very well in certain situations. But it seems like tri and quad axle dump trucks are a crowd favorite. These types of trucks have tandem axles in the back and 1 or 2 tag axles just behind the cab. Each tag axle adds an additional 7,500 pounds of capacity to the payload. These tag axles allow the truck to have a payload up to 21 tons. That's 42,000 pounds of material on a solo truck. Holy crap, that's a lot of weight, Becky. The biggest downside of these trucks is their maneuverability. They can't turn for shit. You have to jockey them back and forth sometimes to get them into small spaces. It's doable, but it may take a minute. Not to mention the first time when you get loaded out with 21 tons, your butthole puckers instantly. You should be good though if you have good brakes, and if you don't, I hope nobody stops in front of you. Super dumps. Not what you take in the morning, okay? Let's get that one off the table. Super dumps have been around for about 30 years, but due to their initial expense of the rig, they aren't very common with small contractors. These are typically for large contractors who do a lot of commercial work. A super dump has 4 to 7 axles and is capable of legal payloads ranging between 19 and 26 tons. Super dumps carry payloads equal to trailers and transfers, while maintaining the maneuverability and quick turnaround time of standard tandem dump trucks. That gives these trucks a max gross vehicle weight of 80,000 pounds. Holy crap, they're getting bigger, so much bigger. But wait, there's more. But that's after you hit the like button. I mean, come on, man. It takes a lot to put this stuff together, and I really appreciate you guys smashing that like button. Now on with the show. And so now we move into trailer life. Transfers and pup trailers are typically transfers, pups, end dumps, and side dumps are all trailer configurations. Transfers and pup trailers are typically coupled with solo dump trucks. These combinations allow the truck to double their capacity and move significantly more material in one trip. The major downside is that they are extremely limited in their maneuverability. You have to be careful not to get stuck on a dead end with a fully loaded trailer, especially with a transfer. The front axle on the trailer is actually a dolly system and makes it almost impossible to maneuver in reverse. These trucks can weigh up to 105,500 pounds fully loaded. Listen to how many times I say dump in this paragraph. Side dumps and end dumps are typically pulled by an over-the-road tractor. They are extremely long and can hold significant amounts of material. End dumps dump material the same way a standard dump truck would, except the end dump is much longer and needs to be dumped on an absolutely flat ground. End dumps are synonymous for tipping over while dumping. If something gets stuck at the top of the box, it will go ass over tea kettle on the slightest of slopes. End dumps are typically used to haul brush on clearing jobs or demolition projects. I said dump a lot of times. Side dumps are used on heavy road construction, levees, and pit mining. They're easy to use because they tip over the side. Even though they can't hold as much as an end dump, they are significantly safer. I don't see them too often on residential construction projects, but I do see them all the time on highway projects. Whether you want to open an excavation company or a trucking business, start out small. Don't worry about what your competitors are doing and make sure that you keep your overheads as low as possible. Don't buy brand new equipment. Brand new dump trucks can cost in excess of $150,000 at a minimum. And if anything happens and you're over leveraged, it's easy to ruin your credit and your business. Work your way into bigger equipment over time. No need to rush to put yourself at risk. Plus, it only takes a couple of years to get the capital to buy a good used dump truck. So be patient. One of the main factors I considered when I purchased my quad axle dump truck is that I didn't want something that I had to spend a lot of money on to fix. I just got my CDL and I was looking from coast to coast trying to find a decent dump truck, but everything I was looking at was like $50,000 or more with over 500,000 miles on it. Engines need to be rebuilt and I didn't want to find one that I needed to spend $30,000 right out of the gate to fix. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to come across my Sterling. I found her in another state, Utah, for $50,000 and it only had 150,000 miles. The same truck in Washington State sells for around $90,000. I had an instant equity of $40,000 when I bought that truck, so I'm not going to feel bad if anything happens. My advice is to take your time when you're looking for a truck. There are a lot of people out there selling trucks that have issues. It's because the truck is probably due for an overhaul and they don't want to shed that expense. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you got any value out of this content, hit that like button and make sure you share this with somebody who might need help figuring out what kind of truck to buy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well so you never miss another video, okay? And if you wouldn't mind, please let me know what you guys think of this week's video. If you have any topics you want me to cover, also leave those in the comment section below. I really appreciate you guys again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys joining this community, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.